Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sebastian. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we got a bit of a controversy here, but before we get into it, please make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, as y'all know, we predominantly cover the NBA on this channel. That's really what I'm focused on, and we've been gearing up, preparing for the playoffs because it's going to be a hell of a run, and we usually produce a lot of content, a lot of lives, and all of that. We don't really focus on college athletics. I don't watch college basketball. I don't watch college football. But when I woke up, there was a particular story trending all through Twitter and all of the major sports news websites. And it featured the championship game yesterday, the women's basketball championship game. So me not following that level of basketball, that sport rather, I started to do some research to figure out what all the hoopla was about. And basically, from what I was able to, from what I was able to glean from the story, essentially what happened was it was a contentious game, right? It was a contentious game, and the teams were going back and forth. And there was a player who plays for LSU. Her name is Angel Resse, if I'm not mistaken, and the other player, she plays for Iowa, and her name is Caitlin Clark. Now, basically, from what I can understand, obviously LSU won that game, and Angel Resse, I believe, was the most valuable player of the game, or the most, I forgot the award that they gave her. And towards the end of the game, she started to basically taunt her opponent. She did this gesture, which means like, I can't see you. She was pointing to her ring finger like, we got the ring, right? So that's what happened. And apparently there are a certain group of people out there that felt like what Caitlin did, what Angel Resse did was uncalled for. Some people were calling it classless and all of these different things. And I was listening to a bunch of different people kind of weighing in, and I was trying to figure out which direction we wanted to go with this particular show. Then I came across a segment from Undisputed where Shannon Sharpe and Skip Bayless actually weighed in on the topic. And of course, they asked Shannon Sharpe to go first to give his thoughts on whether or not he felt that was disrespectful, just to give his general thoughts. And when it was his time to speak, he absolutely just basically annihilated the critics of Caitlin, of Angel Resse. So take a listen to what he had to say here, and then we'll come back and react to it. Take a listen to that.
I have no problem whatsoever. Skip, I want to preface everything that I say. Caitlin Clark was sensational. She should have been a unanimous player of the year. Nobody should have got any votes. If you look at the way she played all year, and if she solidified that, she answered all the questions, she checked all the boxes in the tournament, she should have been a player of the year. So, young lady, what you did, how you represented the game of women's college basketball, you should be commended. So I don't want you to take anything that I'm about to say personal, because this is not about you.
That's fair. I agree. Go ahead.
This is about the portrayal of how women, we see it two different ways. 48 hours ago when Caitlin Clark did this, John Cena, it was considered swag. 48 hours later, Angel Resse does the exact same gesture. Is classless. Keith Olbermann went as far as to say she was an idiot, not just an idiot, an effing idiot. For you to stoop so low to call a college kid, a female, because she did a gesture, when you didn't say anything when Caitlin Clark did it. It's funny how America, society sees black and white. White person does the exact same gesture. Skip, you know, one of the greatest talkers in NBA history, you covered the guy, was Larry Bird. He was never criticized. One of the greatest talkers in NFL football is who? Phillip Rivers. He was never criticized. Angel Resse talked about this all year. Skip, if you remember 48 hours earlier, Don Staley foretold of this. Many chalked it up as being sour grapes because she had lost. And lo and behold, everything that she spoke of came to fruition the moment Angel Resse did that gesture. The moment she did this, and the moment she started pointing at her finger, talking about she about to get a ring, Twitter went, it started trending, and it went into a haywire. And I was just there to read the comments. I didn't want to see the comments. I'm like, really? I'm like, one of our own, Danny Cannell, that used to work here, told me it was classless.
Who?
Danny Cannell.
Oh, Danny Cannell.
Yeah, okay. Skip, I'm like, hold on. So I went back and see, did he say anything about Caitlin Clark? Was it classless when she did it? Nothing. Everybody loved it. Skip, a lot of these women in college basketball, a lot of the black athletes, they have their hair they have their lashes on, they have their nails done. A lot of them are tatted up. Some of them had dreads. So they don't project the role. And like she said, I don't fit your image. I don't fit the box that you want me to fit in. And I'm cool with that. Angel Reese is what we call, she said unapologetically me, she meant unapologetically black.
Yes.
And she's talking about the little black girl. Don't you feel some type of way? You represent who you are. You stand proud and you stand on what you believe in. Skip, this was a great game. And unfortunately, Skip, we're not really talking about the demolition job that they did.
It was a great game for LSU.
Yes. Skip.
So you heard what Shannon Sharpe had to say there. Now, Shannon Sharpe wasn't the only one who commented on this story or this controversy, whatever you want to call it. It's a controversy because a lot of people are talking about it, and it seems like a lot of people feel a type of way about it. I saw LeBron James. He posted on, I believe it was Twitter, basically expressing his support for her, basically saying that there was a double standard. He says facts, love to see it. And then another person, Ryan Clark, he said, if you praise Caitlin Clark as competitive, fiery, and passionate for doing the "you can't see me" celebration and are criticizing Angel Reese for the same thing we already know. Emmanuel Acho, he said, if it wasn't classless when Caitlin Clark did it, don't call it classless when Angel Reese does it. Let women compete. It's just sports. So basically, and a bunch of other people weighed in, like David Aldridge and others, right? So here's my thoughts on all of this. I'm trying to figure out what all of the hoopla and the shouting and the screaming is about, to be honest with you. First of all, I saw the celebration. I can't see you. When she was doing that, I guess it's a big deal, I guess. Maybe because we watch the NBA a lot here on this channel, and I've seen much more disrespectful taunts or whatever it is. So to me, I was like, okay, all right, whatever. Now, I guess the part where some people can say is disrespectful is probably because it's a championship game, and maybe that doesn't happen in championship games. But people taunt each other all the time in sports, and I don't think it has really anything to do with the race. I think it comes down to people's personalities. To be quite honest with you, they're black people that are very confident. They like to show off. They're white people like that. You see them in sports. You have some guys that will celebrate, beat their chest. You see Tom Brady, I can't even pronounce his name, the former Gronkowski, the former, New England Patriot. You have other players like Larry Bird. He held the pose and he walked off. You got Kobe Bryant, who's my favorite basketball player of all time. He would talk a lot of trash. He would taunt. He would pop his jersey. Do all of that. He would growl. You see LeBron do it. You saw Michael Jordan do it. But then there are other players that don't. Tim Duncan was not like that. I don't really see Nikola Jokic doing that. I don't really see Kawhi Leonard doing that. I think it comes down to people. Even here in Nigeria, man, like people in Nigeria, they're different type of guys. They're guys that are successful and they want to let you know that they have, they're doing well. They'll go to the club, they spend thousands of dollars on bottles or whatever. And there are other guys that are just as successful, they're just more low key. I think it just comes down to personalities. Different people behave different ways. I don't think it's dependent upon this guy because he's black or this guy because he's white. People behave a certain way for a range of reasons, right? Even if you think of Marco's very chill. He's very subdued. He's not flamboyant. He doesn't put his business out there. But he got a friend, and he's always posting pictures about his car and all of that. So to me, I think it comes down to the individual. In terms of people getting upset about the taunt, I really didn't see what's the big deal here. Number one and number two, from what I understand, let me just make sure I get the young lady's name right here. From what I understand, what's her name here? Let me just get her name right. Caitlin Clark. She's a major trash talker. So to me, man, I don't really see I don't see what all the big hoopla is. I think people just need to relax. To be quite honest with you, there's nothing to see here. To be totally honest with you, I feel like we're on a highway right now, and there's a lot of traffic, and people think up the road is an accident. You drive by just to see that the guy he has a flat tire or his car ran out of gas. Nothing to see here. It's my take. Whatever you guys think, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Catch you guys on the next show.